Goedendag iedereen, welkom bij een nieuw interview met een tweede op het Eurovisie Songfestival. Dit jaar gaan we terug naar 1997, het jaar waarin Marc Roberts tweede werd voor Ierland. Het is tot nog toe nog altijd de beste score voor Ierland sinds dan. Hello Marc, how have you been doing?
I've been doing very well, Roel. Lovely to talk to you.
Yeah. So first of all, thank you for the interview. We were wondering how you are still doing. So we're going to go all the way back to before your selection at the national final of Ireland, and then go all the way up to you becoming second at Eurovision and afterwards. So first of all, I was wondering, what made you decide to participate in the Eurosong 2000, the Eurosong pre-selections for Ireland?
Well, to be honest, the Eurovision was something I always loved. I always watched it, always enjoyed it, and we always watched it as a family together. So it was a big occasion every year. And I had known Johnny Logan, and I'd known Linda Martin, and I'd known Charlie McGettigan. Most of the people that had entered Eurovision I'd known very well, including Shea Healy, who wrote What's Another Year for Johnny Logan. So at this point, I was doing shows, and there was a record company interested in signing me, and they were taking forever. I was like, I need to get on with my career. I can't just wait till you decide. So eventually, I demoed the song Mysterious Woman, and it was entered. It was originally called European Woman.
Oh, wow.
And it was entered, and nothing happened. And I was brought back to demo it a second time. A guy called John Farry that wrote the song, and it was Mysterious Woman it was at that point, but we stripped it all back, just piano and vocal, and it got through. So I went back to the record company and I said, I don't care what you're doing, it's taken too long and I'm going to do this. And they kind of thought, well, this could be the opportunity we need, the platform. So either way, it was a win-win for me. I was very happy with the idea. And we recorded the song, entered it, performed it on TV, and I performed 9th on the night, and the rest is history.
Yeah, it is. So did Johnny Logan or Linda Martin give you the extra push to really participate in Eurovision, or did you make that up?
It just kind of happened, Roel. It was one of those things that the song was right. The timing was right as well, because the song is quite a country song. It's not your typical Eurovision song by any means. And at the time, Garth Brooks was huge in Ireland, and I think everybody voted for that reason. It was just so different. So Johnny Logan, I would have been in touch with, and Charlie McGettigan as well. Charlie told me it's great fun. If anything else happens, brilliant, but you'll have a great time. And I mean, with the viewership, the amount of people that see it, even the final, the Irish final, the National Song Contest, it's just so worth doing. And I believed in the song, regardless, because people were saying it's not very Eurovision-y. And I was like, what does that mean? None of the songs that have ever won to me have sounded like previous winners. They're always new, they're always different. So I'm open.
Yeah, maybe that's the thing they have, like not being a Eurovision song is maybe a good Eurovision song. But so people were
absolutely.
But people were telling you it wasn't a good song for Eurovision. But what were your expectations about the song? Did you think you had a shot of winning the national finals, or?
I had no idea until the day we performed, and I consciously decided not to listen to any of the other singers. So I didn't know what the other songs were like. I said, at least that way I'm giving it my best shot. So when I performed it and I knew it went well, and I knew with the audience reaction, I thought, this is good. This is going to work.
Yeah, it is. It is. So after you won the national finals, did you think you could really have a shot at winning the real Eurovision, or?
No, you see, the problem was, this too well, Roel. We had won Eurovision so many times. Everybody was like, no, you can't win again. And I was so afraid of coming last, because everybody will go, oh, here comes Ireland again. They're going to win. And then I was tipped to win. And then everybody in Ireland, the Irish broadcaster, RTE television, they were saying, we can't afford this. It's too expensive. We've done it for the last 3 years. We can't do it again. And I said, what do you expect me to do? I'm going to go out, do the best that I can for me and for the people that are fans of Eurovision. And that's what I did. But before I walked on stage in the Point Theatre in Dublin that night, they told me they had done a deal with BBC Northern Ireland. So they said, go and win it. We'll sort
it. So did you feel some extra pressure about that because Ireland did really well? Like the people were wanting you to win again, and then like the broadcast, you not want to win again?
Yeah, there was a little bit of pressure that way, but I think I put a lot of that pressure on myself because I honestly was afraid that because we won it so many times that people were just tired of Ireland and that they mightn't vote for us, regardless how good the song or the performance was. That was the worrying thing. But I mean, Europe loved the song and they gave us the vote, so thank you.
Yeah, you did the best. You had the best of both ways. You ended up the scoreboard, but you didn't win. So
but that was the thing. We proved we could do it, but we just didn't want to.
But did you feel like it influenced your performance on the night itself, or?
No, I don't think so, Roel, because what actually happens, there's so much happens on week of Eurovision, as you probably know.
Yeah.
But for us as performers, everything is timed. You have to, so many rehearsals, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to go to all the parties. And because of the fact that I was the host country, I had to go to all the parties, but I couldn't have a drink. I had to go from one party to the next. So I didn't really get to party, but I was tired. So by the time, I think the best story for me of my Eurovision week is we did the final dress rehearsal on the Saturday morning. And I came back to the hotel and I went to bed and I fell asleep. And the phone woke me up and it was the manager of the hotel who said, Mark, would you like a customary glass of champagne before the bus leaves? And I said, well, what time does the bus leave? And he said, 10 minutes. I was like, what? So I jumped out of bed, showered, came down for the glass of champagne, all wet, hopped on the bus, arrived. They did my hair, they did my makeup, I was dressed, I was on stage, finished, and I was like, oh, so
yeah, you
I had time to think.
You didn't have the time to panic then, so
no,
maybe that was all spontaneous and well.
yeah. So I was just really chilled. Like,
yeah, indeed. So you look back good at your performance on the night itself, or yeah.
Absolutely. I sold the song, and that's
yeah,
what
you did. Yeah. So United Kingdom won.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think like it was an expected winner, or did you feel like you had the upper hand, or?
Well, it's my therapist said it's okay to talk about it now. No, it's I didn't. Again, with Eurovision, the same as the Eurosong final, I didn't listen to the songs.
Yeah.
And a couple of people had said United Kingdom have a great song. I was like, that's fine. No, I knew Walking on Sunshine by Katrina and the Waves, and I knew it was a great song. And I was thinking, if it's anything like that, they're bound to win, but I just can't listen to it. I really can't go there. So I didn't listen to the other songs. And that actually helped me because as far as I was concerned, this was the best song I could do. And because I write music, if I heard any of the songs, I would be going around singing this and I'd say, I'm not having a hope. So I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, so I was wondering because in 1992 and 1993, Ireland became first and United Kingdom became second. So was there like a rivalry going on and like between you and United Kingdom in your year, or always?
Always. But there's always been such a history, as you probably know, historically between Ireland and the United Kingdom. But the one glorious thing for me that I love, my year was the very first year they had televoting as well.
Yeah.
And it was the very first time that Ireland gave 12 points to the United Kingdom and we gave 12 points to them. And it was like, finally, the people have spoken. It's great.
Yeah.
So that also meant afterwards I could go to the UK and do TV, which I did, and to release the song and all that kind of thing.
Yeah. And now you mentioned like the televote. It was the first year a couple of countries changed the jury vote into the televote, and you actually got the most points out of the televote. Do you think it could have ended differently if all countries had to televote, or?
I can't even think that way. Roel, you're a bad person.
Yeah, I know. I had to ask, but it's an accomplishment. You were actually the first one to win the televote ever. So
Well, do you know something? I'm only after discovering that now.
yeah, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that. Yes.
You actually were. But not all. Yeah, there were 5 or 6 countries who changed jury vote into the televote, and from then on, all countries started to change up to televote. So
I never knew that.
yeah.
That has to go on my CV, and I'll put Roel after it.
Yeah, you can do that.
That totally went out of my mind. That's great.
I can put it on my CV like I'm having a mention of your CV. Yeah. So you became second in Eurovision. So what did that do for your career? Like you wanted to become famous by entering Eurovision. You had a lot of people watching you. How did that change your career in Ireland and outside of Ireland?
Well, again, it was one of those things. When I walked off stage on the night, they said, "Well done, 350 million people saw you." I was like, Again, I was glad they told me afterwards. But what did it do for me? It did exactly what I wanted it, in the sense, by coming second, as you said, we proved we could still do it. We were still up there. But for everybody, it was good, I think, as well, that, Ireland didn't win in that sense. And Katrina's song is brilliant. It's still,
Yeah, it
look
is.
at this year, Love Shine a Light. If you're going to be beaten by anything, be beaten by an anthem that we can all believe in. I mean, I firmly believe that. But so I have to say, I don't know, one of those things. It's Eurovision. I've always loved, as I said. I'm so thrilled that I did it. And what it did for me was it opened up a lot of other countries. You wouldn't be talking to me.
Yeah, it is.
And it's literally 3 minutes. But I loved it, and I loved everybody involved in it, and I met some great friends that I still have. And people here in Ireland, all of us that took part in Eurovision, when you could go to the pub and have a beer and sit down and watch television and watch the Eurovision, we always text each other and say, "What do you think of that? What will we do? What's that like?" So that's all there. And it was great as well in so many other reasons, because it was a platform. It was something, having been in the business, people knew I could sing, that I could write songs, but all of a sudden people listened. And the record company got off their backsides and did a bit of work for me. So I was so happy.
Yeah, it did. So you made some new music, but in 2008 you re-entered the national selection for Ireland, Eurosong 2008. You became second. What the reasoning behind you retrying to enter Eurovision? Was it for fun, or did you really want to get a result of it? Or
well, RTE again had said to us, I was so close, and all of a sudden we were doing so badly for so long after. Like, as you know, 97 was the last year we came top 3. So they were thinking, you still have the profile, people still love your music, people still remember what you do. Why don't you enter again? So I had said I would enter it on condition that it was one of my own songs.
Yeah.
Because people often ask me, was I disappointed that I represented Ireland with a song that I didn't write? But I love music. I love good songs. I don't care where they come from. I think the best songwriters in the world will still cover other people's songs if they're better.
Yeah.
And there are so many good songs out there. So I decided, yes, I'd do it, because you see, the years between my performance and 2008, they totally lost the run of themselves because they started doing shows like Eurostar, which is like The Voice kind of, and then whoever won that competition would represent Ireland. And I still firmly say, and I still firmly believe, it's a song contest first. Every song that has won Eurovision is brilliant. It's a brilliant song, regardless. If you turn off the TV and listen to the song on the radio, nowadays I know you have to put more of an effort into the visual element because that's what makes people look at you in the middle of all these other groups.
Yeah.
So at that time, every year we sent a singer and then went, better find a song.
Yeah.
Instead of every other year that we did well in Eurovision, we had a brilliant song and then they got somebody to interpret the song and do it the best they could. And that's what wins, I firmly believe. So that had gone on. It was sending singers and then looking for songs that would suit them. And we never managed it. And that was the first year that they opened it to the public in that length of time. And RTE said, would you think about doing it again? So I said, sure. So I submitted a song like everybody else. The song is called Chances. And very happy with the song, the production, and the performance and everything. But literally, when they announced that I had gotten through, they also announced that Justin the Turkey was in it.
Yeah.
So I literally knew at that point in time, this is not going to happen.
Yeah.
Because it's a joke that nobody outside of Ireland understood.
Yeah. Well, some people did, but yeah, it's hard to understand. I guess if you're not Irish. I didn't even know he was famous before entering Eurovision in 2000.
You see, Roel, the thing about Justin is he's famous for slagging people and sarcasm and irony, and like he could meet a president or something and say something silly or rude, and that's his humor, and that's why we all love him here in Ireland. Except he was going to other countries and he couldn't be rude, so he was being nice, and then everybody was totally confused. But it was one of those things. So yeah, so Justin represented Ireland that year.
Yeah. But maybe you re-entered a second time. What about Three Times the Charm? Would you be up for trying just once more, or?
I don't think so. Not
No?
at this point. I don't think so, Roel. Unless maybe I wrote the song.
Yeah.
Or was in. That's the only way I would consider it at this point in time. And who knows if I have a song or if I think it's suitable. I think the most important thing is it has to be a great song. End up. And I think the biggest example of that, even though there's been amazing songs, I think Rock and Roll Kids proves at the end of the day, it's just a brilliant song. Sit there, sing the song, and everybody fell in love with it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, even more recently, like Amar Pelos Dois from Portugal. It's also a very minimalistic song, and he performed it and he won with the highest score ever. So
yeah, it's fantastic.
It's possible. It's possible. So maybe you can write such kind of song and maybe retry.
And then find the right person. I think that's the way it has to go. You have to find somebody that will interpret that song. I didn't realize until recently that remember In Your Eyes by Niamh Kavanagh?
Yeah.
That was actually demoed originally by Indina Menzel, isn't that her name? You know, from Frozen?
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Wow, the voice.
Yeah, indeed. So do you think that's the thing Ireland has to do to get back up into the top 5? Because you were actually the last one into the top 5 for Ireland? Or
I know. I think we need to get really good songs. And you see, the problem is in Ireland now, people have become so disillusioned with Eurovision, which is such a pity because how will I explain it? I know exactly why Eurovision has changed in the sense of there are so many countries. You have to do something to get your head a little bit up so that people will talk about you. If you don't do that, regardless how good your song is, it won't stick out. So you have to do something. But I think that has disillusioned a lot of people in Ireland, and they still say, "Oh, there's block voting." Now, that has been there since day one.
Yeah.
There still is. It doesn't make a blind bit of difference. Sometimes it's the 6 points, it's the 8 points. I kept getting 8 points, and then some 10s, even though Katrina was getting 12s, and then I'd get, and it was like I was following her all the way. So I think that's the important thing.
Yeah, the song is the most important, and then you never know where you're going to end. So let's hope the Irish public broadcast listens to you and just starts focusing on the song, and maybe who knows? Yeah, who knows? Everything can change quickly in Eurovision. Look at the Netherlands, look at Portugal, look at even Belgium, where I'm from. It can change. So let's hope for Ireland for the next years to come.
Absolutely. All my friends in Belgium, because I've lots. I actually have done a couple of shows in Ghent, in Belgium, and we're back there again soon. So let everybody keep an eye out. We have a wonderful friend over there, Karine Galuk. And Karine, I actually met the week of Eurovision, and we've remained friends ever since. So she puts on this show every year for us, and we come over and perform. So it's wonderful.
Yeah, indeed, Eurovision is a great experience for everyone. So it launched your career. So what's for you in the future, if not entering Eurovision? Will you bring out some new music or?
Well, I'm working on my 7th album. I also write for other people. One of the biggest performers we have in Ireland is Daniel O'Donnell, and Daniel has been in the charts, and he's kind of like an Irish Cliff Richard, and he has sold millions of albums, and he tours, and he's very big in America at the moment. But I actually got him writing songs, so we've co-written quite a lot of songs that have gone. One that went top 20 in the UK pop charts a couple of years ago. So that's something I've always done, and that's helped get my name out there as a songwriter. But I'm in the process of writing my 7th album, and we also do a show, a tribute to the music of John Denver.
Yeah.
Now, this came out because I toured with Glenn Campbell, with Crystal Gale, with Don Williams, all of the American country artists. And I remember one night performing in the Ulster Hall in Belfast, and I was doing my 40 minutes with my guitar, and I did a couple of John Denver songs, and I ended up getting better reviews than Glenn Campbell. Poor Glenn. But as a result, my manager said, "Why don't you do more John Denver songs?" And then poor John Denver was killed, and we were actually performing in Dusseldorf the night he was killed. And the second half of my show in Dusseldorf, I did all John Denver songs. So we put together a show, which is a tribute to the music of John Denver. And we've toured it all over the world, from Australia to Tasmania. We've done it all over the States. They brought us to Aspen in Colorado, which is where John Denver lived. And we performed it for some of his family and the band and friends. And so that's something that I've always done for the last up to 20 years. And we've even sold out shows in our national concert hall. So there's lots of plans for that. And I even recorded a full album of the music from the show. So that's one of my 7 albums. But I continue to write, and I've lots of new songs coming out. And the last 4 songs I brought out went #1 in the iTunes charts here in Ireland.
Wow, congratulations. So you have a bright future ahead of you.
When I grow up.
And I'm going to wish you all the best of luck with that. But this will have to end our interview. It was great having you, and I wish you best of luck for you in the future. And who knows, if you write the right song, we'll see you again in Eurovision.
Never know. Roel, thank you so much for asking me. And a big shout out to all the fans of Eurovision that keep it going. It's an amazing show. I'm so thrilled and proud that I had the honor of being there, and for all the wonderful people that I met. And check me out. I'm on Facebook and Twitter and all that. Follow me everywhere.